Welcome and namaste. I'm Deanna with Empowering Empaths, and I am coming to you with our energy update for April 27th through the May 3rd. Again, these are always timeless messages, so I assure you that whenever you tune in, there will be morsels of goodness in this message for you to encourage you, to empower you. And I first and foremost would like to get just in tune with everybody on a real heart-to-heart conversation about the times that we are in, because it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, whether you're wide awake and have been awake, or whether you're newly waking to the paradigm shift that we are all in. Regardless of that, where you are, it is very intense. And I'd really like to put my hand out for everybody to really increase your self-care. I know it's intense. I know it's trying. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you're at on the spectrum. It's definitely intense, and a lot of feelings of uncertainty, and also a lot of fear and PTSD being triggered by the mainstream media. And I'm not normally one to really talk about those things on the energy updates, but the clarity that I'm seeing in what's going on, and it saddens me because I feel like for a lot of us, being in this pause has really, shaken us to our core. And for many people, there's some that really just want to get back to the way that it's been. And for others, we understand that the pause has far deeper significance to it. But irrelevant where you are on the spectrum of that, it's super intense. And what I would like to say to anybody out there who has been through the fluctuation of all these intense emotions that we're feeling is to please do not lose hope. I'm asking you from heart to heart to not become crippled by the things that we're seeing unfold. And this is a very passionate subject to me, because I do know that the impact of what's happening right now has caused a lot of people to lose hope. And I am here to tell you that you matter. Your light matters. I know it's very intense times. Currently, the moon is in Gemini and will be going into Cancer later this afternoon. I'm coming to you on Monday, but again, this is always timeless. So towards the afternoon, we may feel a significance of emotions rising. So I encourage you to cry, to release some of that pressure. Many of us on a soul level, we all know there's something that's off, that's not in harmony and in balance. And so please be gentle with yourself and don't allow your emotions, don't become your emotions. It's been super intense for all of us, and I would just ask you to get into your heart space, ground your energy, do breath work, and try to gain some clarity within yourself of the higher perspective, and really connecting with your higher self and the God energy. I know for me personally, where I am on my journey, I feel has prepared me for what we're in collectively right now, but really I don't know if there's any preparedness that any of us could really put us on a path of going, you know what, this isn't impacting me, because it is. It's impacting everybody. And I think it's very clear that there's a grab for power and control. To touch on a little bit of the astrological aspects, we have all these outer planets that have touched into Capricorn, the sign of structure and, order, and kind of trying to bust apart these things that have always been utilized as a hierarchy for control. And so what I feel like Pluto diving deep into Capricorn, it was, I believe, January 12th when Saturn, an outer planet, and Pluto, also an outer planet, we're in the conjunct in Capricorn, and I think it's only intensified since the beginning of 2020. You know, and also the planet of Jupiter of expansion, and the inner planets, our personal planets, are of course going around the Earth, always quicker. That makes sense, right? Inner, outer. And so what I think we're going through a lot of transformational things within us on a personal level, but then at the same time we have these outer planets revealing and breaking apart the things that have always been here. And I know that it's alarming, but I think anybody using their intuition, which we all have, can see there's a power grab of maybe the structures that have been in place that were not in integrity, trying to manipulate. And that's where I would like to share again about the mainstream media. I am so familiar with PTSD on a personal level, and what came through to me before I came on today was the significance of what this is doing by putting people into fight or flight and really causing post-traumatic stress for the collective. And I don't normally shame, but I am fucking shaming mainstream media right now, because think about if that's the only thing that people listen to. And I want to really highlight on the older generation that have been so programmed by the television programming that they don't dive into their inner. You know, we're seeing this separation of walking out in public and people are scared to frickin' talk to each other. And it's far deeper than just this quote corona that's going on, because the impact of it is the suicide rates are up. We have elderly in these homes that are shitty. I've worked in them. Many of them, not saying all of them, of the structure of that as well, going, you know what, some of them have dementia and memory issues, and they're kind of like probably going, where in the hell is my family, if they know they have family. And so I say shame on all of the people that are trying to do a control grab at this time, because of the rise in the consciousness and people waking up over many years and coming into this knowingness that we're more powerful when we connect with our inner higher self and God, creator, whatever you call it, to then start amping up their control factors. So I won't go more into that, but I just wanted to say is because the reason we're feeling it so significant is these outer planets being back in Capricorn. And Saturn's now in Aquarius for the time being, but it will go retrograde back into Capricorn again. So the highlight this week astrologically is Mercury, and Mercury's going to be transiting through and making different aspects to different planets. And so Mercury gets the ball rolling this week on Monday the 27th when it passes into the earthy Taurus. So I think a lot of us have the availability to change our thinking into what we really value, right, Taurus? And trying to change our mindsets on what we find value in, but not only that, but the beauty that we find in the everyday life, you know, whether it be nature or the simplicity of being able to sit down and connect with your heart space and your higher self, to really kind of change your thoughts with Mercury into more of, okay, so I can only be in the present because everything is changing so rapidly. Uranus in Taurus is quick change. It's also innovation. Uranus is also known to be the higher thinking as well. So kind of keep your awareness on that for this week, because it'll be grounding into a fixed earth sign. So the shift slows down and focuses on communication of practical matters for the next 3 weeks. So Mercury going into Taurus, it's going to be us trying to come up with new ideas and thoughts on communication, on what we're doing in our everyday life, day to day, and really focusing on that for the next few weeks, because it's going to be building, you have the availability to keep building your thought system on things that you truly value. And so keep that in mind. If you have something important to say this week, you may struggle the hardest to express your thoughts and communication on Tuesday the 28th, and that is because when Mercury and Saturn are in a square. So keep a awareness within you of that. When on Tuesday, when Mercury squares Saturn, it's going to feel like a push-pull within you again. I do share that squares are usually hard aspects, so pay attention to your thoughts moving through the week. It's always give a day or two, just like the moon ebbs and flows. So you could feel in your thoughts a push-pull, not knowing what direction, and that's the best time for me utilizing it within myself. So I'm just sharing here to see if that's helped you to slow down your thinking. Meditation will help you. So if you're in that push-pull with your thoughts, to really just sit down and do a few centering breaths and recenter yourself. It's a beautiful way to reset our whole system. So if you have something important to communicate, wait until Thursday, April 30th, when Mercury merges with innovative Uranus to give you a once-a-year chance to get super creative, inspired, to say the right thing in the right way. So watch your communication this week as well. I am noticing a huge polarization, and I'm not the only one, of fight or flight causing a lot of people to be irritable. And I would say, as a light worker, just don't go there with people. Maybe that's the time to disconnect from social media or whatever you're on, even in your household, to really turn yourself inner, know that everybody's emotions are on high. And I'm a firm believer in standing up for what you believe in, like a staff, and being upright, but really do use discernment on the information that you're taking in and also what you're communicating. Sometimes it's best to save your energy for yourself, keeping yourself in balance and harmony, and just letting it go. If you have to disconnect from social media, do that as well. I find it huge that Mercury's being highlighted this week as well, because anybody that's on the social media platform that many of us are really seeing a censorship. And so what I am going to be optimistic about that is there's definitely an energetic war going on. There's a psychological war going on, and we don't have to envision that. We can envision a place in a world in unity consciousness, and using the age of Aquarius going into that, Uranus being one of the co-rulers with Saturn in the age of Aquarius, sign of Aquarius, of visualizing and really using your mindset this week to set your intentions of the visual of how you'd like to see the collective. And for me it is I'm anxious and really optimistic that somebody will start a social media platform where there's more integrity, because it's really not a battle of us against them or light against dark. It's about a unity consciousness, and where we get that is by each individual using and utilizing this pause to be into their authenticity and integrity. Because when there's transparency of that vulnerability of, I don't need to be in fight, flight, competition, or whatever, we're seeing this huge on the collective scale of getting into your authenticity and being in your straight and narrow. That way we can envision a better world of unity. And so I still do see this huge polarization and huge split in the consciousness of humans, because many are choosing the fear and the program and scared of this virus and scared of being in social contact with another freaking human being. We're tribal. We're meant to be communing with one another. However, I see this personally through a download that came to me, that in the future it'll be more about community that's closer, and bartering systems, and I say actually amen to that, because we need to step away from the consumerism and the production, do of things on an individual scale, and also on the collective scale, getting away from industrialized farming, getting away from the chemicals and the control factors of those that used that, again, cycling around into the pharmaceuticals, which never was good for humans' immunity nor the planet Earth. So keep this intention within you going forward to keep increasing your self-care, getting into your authenticity, going with your God connection, and not conforming to the power struggle that we're seeing with man's way. Okay, so what else? Okay, so when Mercury merges with the innovative Uranus to give you a once-a-year chance to get super creative and inspired to say the right thing in the right way. Friday, May 1st, brings the traditional springtime festival of Beltane, which was once marked as an important time in the ancient calendar, the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. Venus, still in Gemini, is slowing down and getting ready to turn retrograde in 2 weeks, and that's a big deal too, Venus in Gemini. This can be more about, the values of closer community. This can be the values of Gemini being known as the twin. This can be harmonizing, or this can be a indication of you're very clearly seeing the values of some people splitting off and being polarized. North Node also moving into Gemini in the month of May as well, so that's huge, heading towards something new ways. I just really want to highlight your self-care. And the chakras that are coming up for me for the week to share with you guys is the throat chakra and the solar plexus. And the throat chakra came through to me, but of coming from that clarity and speaking your truth, but also knowing and having discernment within you, like I shared, seeing the people arguing. We need to come to a place where we refrain from, and this is the whole thing, two human beings are never going to agree on anything. And so when egos start lashing out on each other, whatever the reason, use discernment within you to step back and really understand what you value and what you're giving your energy to. So, anything else I want to share? So like I said, as this afternoon passes on and the moon moves into Gemini, it's totally okay to cry and release some emotions. Cancer is a very emotional sign. And let's see, I just would like everybody to keep the hope, because like I said, no matter where you're at on the spectrum, it is intense and it's ever changing. Uranus and Taurus is about fast change. It's also innovative, so it's finding new ways. Fixed Earth, my dog's snoring, on finding new ways to do things, finding innovative ways to anchor in. That's so funny, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Anchor in newness and really being open to sudden changes. We're going to keep seeing that. Pluto in Capricorn is still in the sign of Capricorn, but I believe it just went retrograde. So we may get a little break for a little while till it goes direct again on seeing new things revealed. But what we're going to still continue to see on a collective scale is things, still going to be out there through communication on things that have already been dug up out of the dark, murky water and being revealed. So I felt like it was important to do an Archangel card today for support. I ask you to please just keep in your center, do whatever it is that you need to do to find harmony within yourself, because I know it's very difficult times. In order for new things to go forward, we have to change the ways that we've been doing things, depleting the Mother Earth and never stopping to pause to get in tune with our inner dialogue and our intuition. And I'm noticing a lot of people going, I'm not sure how to trust my intuition. You have to get into a stillness. You have to find whatever it is within you to just sit down, clear everything out, and do some breath work and do an energetic scan of your body. You got to go by that first gut intuition, and that goes back to bringing up the solar plexus energy that I was also having come through to me with the throat chakra. Finding your will, finding your life force energy, what makes your soul sing. You'll know by what makes your soul sing, because your heart and your whole energy will pep up. And so that is part of intuition as well, is listening to your body, paying attention to, wow, how does something make you feel when it's mentioned, you know? If it's getting out in nature and taking a walk, again, that creative life force energy of the solar plexus, yellow, the sunshine. So that's another thing, getting out in the sunshine when you can, because that will boost your immune system, and it also boosts your vitality. Think about it, super simple. How do you feel when you're in the sun? I know I feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and so that your body's intelligent. That boosts your immune system naturally. And the throat chakra, keep being your truth, keep being your integrity. Like I said, this isn't about bad, good, light, dark. This is integrity, authenticity, transparency. And I just keep setting my intentions for the forward. And I am a nonconformist to man, so they will not force any kind of you know what on me. I'm not saying it on my channel because censorship is for real. And that's another thing too that I see we start having, since they're going to make us be social distancing. There's going to be a platform where there's integrity, where we're not getting censored for sharing our truth, our perspectives, because that's so obvious and in your face right now. That alone should make you question the dynamics unfolding. And so I think many people are, but many people are still doing the cognitive dissonance, which is, you know, I had an ideal or belief in someone or something or some system. I'm going to ask you to gain clarity through that Mercury mind in your heart space, merging the two, that sacred union of connecting with your crown, bringing it down through into your heart, right? Upper chakras, but also being anchored in your truth and authenticity in the solar plexus. Setting your intentions. I know prayers are significant. I'm a prayer warrior, so I just keep envisioning, even though I am a truth speaker and a truth revealer about bringing things to the light. Don't shame anybody. However, also use your discernment through that throat chakra and your communication. Don't give your energy to those that want to just argue with you. Not the time for it. So we're going to do an archangel message. God, creator, source, ascended masters, divine white light, angels, and my ancestors, Yeshua and my son in spirit. I ask for your beautiful divine guidance on clear communication for anybody tuned in to listen to this energy update. I give thanks in advance. So I trust that this message will reach whoever it needs to reach. I please, heart to heart, ask you to have the understanding, no matter how intense it is, that your light is needed here at this time. You matter. Which archangel is it that we would like to get support from for this week's energy update? All is well. Archangel Jeremiel. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to, with hidden blessings that you will soon understand. I love that. Solar plexus energy, crown chakra. This is a higher perspective. Let me shut this. That look better. Not such a glare. Understand that bigger perspective. Like I said, sit down, tap into your higher self, God, creator, great spirit. Allow your heart to guide you, your inner dialogue, your intuition will not steer you wrong once you trust yourself. And like I said, no matter what's going on out there, Your light matters. Allow this all is well message to get within you. Feel it in your bones. Feel it in your soul. You know, feel all the things that come up and surface within you. But on a higher perspective, just know that all is well with your soul. You are so needed here at this time. I think I'll leave it at just that one card message this week and go ahead and maybe do an upload of a 3-card draw for everybody to pick an individual one. It is intense, and everybody on the planet has not witnessed what we're witnessing right now. This is something new. This is something huge, and all these outer planets in the sign of Capricorn that have either are in it now or have moved out of it and going to go back retrograde into it is a dismantling of structures that were not in authenticity and integrity. And so a lot of things that we are seeing is what I call revelations. Remember on a soul level that we are never disconnected from Creator. We are sparks of it. We're actually co-creators. So the biggest benefit you can give to yourself at this time is getting in tune with that. Allowing your life force. I know I felt defeated yesterday. It's intense. It doesn't matter who you are and where you are on your path. And for those that are completely still in the programming, I was so angry within myself going, you fucking mainstream media are causing people to have PTSD, putting them into fight or flight. I know I went out to grab some groceries and some people chose to wear masks, some people didn't. For me and mine, my business, my decisions, so are the others. But the energy that I felt of people just being scared to be in the same room with somebody else was appalling to me. It broke my freaking heart as a humanitarian. And at the end of the day, a lot of change, a lot of quick change. Uranus and Taurus and fixed Earth is sometimes really difficult for all that change because we're fixed into certain ways. I'm going to ask you to be more open, surrender when you need to be, surrender to the changes. Be a nonconformist, and I say that by being, you know what, for me and my household, quote, right, metaphorically, symbolically, I will serve the living God, and that is within you. That is your authenticity. That is your truth, your way, always from the heart space. I send this to you with so much love. I hope it resonates. I sure would do like your support here by liking. If you're new today, subscribe, hit the bell when I have a new one. I do energy updates, and I also do monthly messages for soul empowerment for each sign. And I do believe, because I only chose the one card today with this archangel letting us know all is well and the reminder of that, that I may upload a 3-card draw as well. Thank you for joining me. Hope this resonates. I hope it encouraged you. Please do hang on to hope. Remember that all is well with your soul. Keep rising, and namaste.